What's up, everybody?
Hey, friends. We are live. It feels good to be live, too.
I know, it's been over a week and a half since we were live last, and I don't know, I feel like I've missed you people. I've missed all our friends, all of our wonderful RV nerds.
Our RV nerds?
Yes, our RV nerds. It's a technical term. You're our RV nerds. You're here to hang out with us.
All of our RV friends. We missed you. Oh, Hannah. I'm so sorry you've been in and out of the hospital, too. That sucks. Hopefully you're on the mend as well and feeling better. But, hey, Steve, what's going on, man?
Hey, Cast
Iron, what's going on, man?
No, we do not have a Jayco fifth wheel. We have a Sandpiper fifth wheel. How are winters in that? Well, we try to target...
We avoid it.
We target very soft winters, so we like to be in Florida a lot during the wintertime. We do go back to Texas for the holidays, and Texas does get colder than Florida, so we do have to put up with a little bit. And like last year, we were down in the negatives Fahrenheit in Texas of all places. Like that doesn't happen.
Which is really weird. It was unseasonably cold when we were there during Christmas, and I think it got down to like -2. Yeah, not fun at all. Thankfully, during that time, it didn't really snow, which was good. But yeah, there's different ways that you can prepare for winter in an RV. Like you can winterize the RV for staying in it.
For sure, yeah.
And I would highly recommend doing that if you're planning on doing any winter camping. But yeah, we generally try to target warmer temperatures.
Slow.
I still get lightheaded when I stand up too fast. So I forget that I get lightheaded. I'm going to get a refill and then we can start.
Yeah, so she legit got up earlier this week, Monday or Tuesday. She I was doing something, I don't even remember, I was just sitting right here. She stands up and I'm looking down at either my computer or my phone, I don't remember, and all I kind of hear is like kerflunk, and she just sprawled out on the floor. She went straight up and straight back down. It's one of those things where you're like, man, I wish we just had a camera going at all times.
Welcome to the Wandering RV Show, your source for our stories,
our screw-ups,
and our successes living the full-time RV life. I'm your host, Kara, the Wandering RV Babe, and this is my driver, Ryan.
Yo, we're back!
We're back!
It feels like it's been forever since we've been doing anything to do with the channel or our podcast or anything like that, so we had to take some time off. And we're going to be talking about all that today. First, we're going to be talking about what do 2 ER visits, 10 staples, in the head of course, an ambulance ride, and a 4-day hospital stay have in common. Our week last week,
yeah. This episode really is all about our crazy week, how we navigated through those medical emergencies, and how we did it while doing RV life full time. So, as a quick reminder for our live audience, definitely join the conversation. If your conversation and your comments are on topic with what we're talking about, we're definitely going to chime in. We're definitely going to give you a shout out. If you have a general question about like just us or RV life in general, stick around. We will answer those questions at the end. So, and if you have a topic that you would like us to cover, or something that you want us to talk about in depth, let us know. Give us a follow, give us a comment, give us a message, and we will weave that into the agenda for our next or an upcoming show.
Absolutely. Well, first, what are we drinking tonight, sweetheart?
Well, I'm having some hot cocoa because it's been a rough week and I wanted a little bit of a treat. And right now I cannot have any adulty beverages, so a cocoa night is what it is for me. What are you drinking?
I am drinking a poured, not shaken or stirred, dirty vodka martini.
Oh, these are like two polar opposite drinks.
Yeah, yours is sweet, mine is not.
Mine is hot, yours is cold. It's yeah.
But man, is it good to be home.
Oh my gosh, yes. It is so good to be home, to our little home on wheels. We had a really crazy week last week, and thank you guys for just, one, bearing with us, because we missed a couple of posts. We were kind of pretty MIA on social media for a few days, and then when we did give you an update, we just had this outpouring of support and, just well wishes and things like that. So we really appreciate that, each and every single one of you for sending us those well wishes. But we wanted to follow that back up and tell you the entire story of what happened, because it was freaky and weird and
we need to play the lottery.
Yeah, we do need to play the lottery. It's not something I would have ever thought would have happened, but it did. So first and foremost, what started as a typical Monday ended with our first trip to the ER for the week. So I'm gonna let you kickstart this conversation. Because it was really all about the driver Ryan on Monday.
So what happened was...
What happened was...
you were filming a video, and I try to every once in a while just be in the background, kind of splash a little bit of, extra humor into the background, and
he likes to annoy me just to see if it'll make the cut. That's what he was doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was. So you were filming your video, and I was trying to wait till you got a good angle, but I had some errands to run. So I was like, okay, when is she gonna have a good angle? And so finally you kind of settled on this angle, and I was thinking about it. I was like, well, I got to run errands. So I was like, I'm gonna run up to her and be like, I'm leaving you for another woman. And then run off towards the truck and be all funny, or so I thought.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you get for threatening to leave me for another woman.
Yeah, so my path, based off of where your camera was, had me running under the front nose of the fifth wheel. So I ducked down, like you do, because A, that's low, and there's a hitch there. So I ducked down, and naturally I can't see over the bill of my hat at the time. And I just start running, and then I stopped running, and just found myself teetering back. Went down to the ground. I had the forethought to lean forward, get on. I wasn't on the ground, I didn't fall per se on the ground. I got onto the ground because I started to see blood running down my face, and as the person who does the laundry in the family, I didn't want any blood to get on my shirt. So I leaned down, got on all fours, so the blood would kind of drip away from my clothing. And then I looked into my hat and saw things in it that kind of freaked me out there for a second. I literally thought I'd maybe just cracked my skull and this was the end. So as my entire life is flashing before my eyes, even though I had the forethought to bleed forward so I didn't get any on my clothes, and I was having this conscious thought, I just literally was like, oh, this is it. This is how I die.
Well, so I heard it, and y'all, I mean, it was this thud. And I was like, what the hell? What happened there? And so I turn around and just see him on all fours and see him take his hat off. And of course, then I see the wound. And I think I audibly said oh shit. And so I immediately ran over to him, told him we're going to the ER. And I went in and got just a wet towel so that we could, get the bleeding under control. Got him in the truck, and we drove to the ER. Now, thankfully, it was a pop-up ER, so it wasn't attached to a hospital or anything. It was kind of a standalone. And at first they were like, whoa, we don't know if we can treat him here. And so the doctor actually had to kind of triage him first and was like, yeah, we can treat him here. But
yeah. They had to make sure that there wasn't any signs of actual skull damage. There were no concussions or anything like that. So
he was on concussion watch for about 48 hours after that, though. So
concussion watch, yeah. I was feeling perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I told them, I was like, honestly, this doesn't hurt as bad as my neck does from the whiplash of hitting it, stopping, and literally bouncing off of a metal object.
Oh yeah. What was funny though was he had the ER staff just cutting up the entire time. So you'll notice that about us. We're even in the craziest situations, we find the funny things. We find the silver lining, so to speak. And so he had the ER staff cutting up the whole time and laughing the whole time, and it was actually it actually worked out really, really well. They got it cleaned up. He had 10 staples in his head coming out of that. And he's got some antibiotic ointment that we put on it just to make sure it's healing up okay.
But it was really nice. The nurse practitioner, she was doing the staples, and one of them did not go in all the way, so she had to use the staple puller to get it back out. And she was like, well, once I open this, I can't use it again. So she was like, here you guys go. I didn't give you this. This is how you can pull the staples out so you don't have to come back and see us. But feel free to, because we'd be more than glad to. And so it was really kind of funny, because she was kind of like, I'm not giving you this to take the staples out next week.
Yeah, well, what was funny, too, was, like, you know, they asked, you know, what we were doing and everything, and so we told them, you know, we live full-time in our RV, we travel full-time, that kind of thing. And so we had a really good conversation about it, but, you know, she was like, well, you know, if you're not here next week or, you know, something like that, then, like, that way you at least have it as a backup. But yeah, no, it was pretty funny. So
we pulled out 8 of the staples, but there's 2 kind of right where the impact was that it's not
quite ready.
It's not quite ready. So we got 2 more to pull probably in the next couple of days, maybe early part of next week. But
yeah,
it is healing. It's doing much better. It looks tremendous. It looks like it's supposed to look. No necrotic tissue or anything like that. Because it was a flap.
Yeah. It was. He like tried to scalp his whole head off.
You know, you gotta try. Listen. When I do things, I do it to the fullest extent of my abilities.
I mean, that is very true. But I will say, next time you decide to pick a fight with the Kingpin, maybe don't do it with your head.
Do it with my fist instead. I don't know. I feel like that would be more likely to break bones. I feel like the skull is like, I've proven at this point my skull is as solid as steel.
I mean, I always knew you had a hard head, so. You know. Now the rest of the world does too. So just when we had enough excitement from the week and we thought things were like kind of dying down, I started a new medication on Wednesday. It was fine. I was feeling fine. Started a new medication. And I guess I took the first dose in the afternoon.
Yeah, somewhere around like 3:30, because I was out running errands. I came back with it. You took it. We went to the pool, hung out at the pool.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine.
Yeah, like everything was fine. I felt fine. We were doing, everything was good. And then all of a sudden, we decided to come back to the camper and have leftovers for dinner. And so like as we're coming back to the camper, I start like coughing. And I have asthma, so like I'm used to an asthma attack. I know how that feels. It was really, really bad when I was a kid and when I was in high school, but like as an adult, I've been able to manage it really, really well. And so I was like, okay, there's something going on. Maybe there's an allergen or something in the air. So I took my rescue inhaler, didn't get any relief. Then I was like, okay, well, let me take a nebulizer treatment. So I did that. Still didn't really get a lot of relief. And so, by that point he had heated up leftovers, and we were eating leftovers, and then all of a sudden it was just like that. I just felt really, really bad, and I couldn't really describe it. I just didn't feel good. And he jumps up and he goes, we're going to the ER. And I was like, no, we're fine. It's fine. And I was like really, really tired. And I was like, but no, I don't need to go to the ER. I just need to go to sleep. I don't feel good. Like, it'll be fine. And so he's like, no, we're going to the ER.
Her skin was turning translucent. And this is something I've seen happen before with her. Usually when her asthma is, like, really, really bad. And so, like, her skin, like, you look at it. You see warmth right now. It looked cool. It looked like there was not enough oxygen getting everywhere.
Yeah.
Or as we found out later, not enough oxygen getting out.
Yeah.
Or enough CO2 getting out. Whatever. However all that works.
Whatever.
Science. And so I was like, no. We're going to the ER. We're out we're not near town or anything like that. So I was like, I'm just going to drive you. I don't want to call an ambulance. I don't want to pay for an ambulance especially. And so like, we're going down the road. I'm speeding through, trying to get us to the hospital as quickly as possible. Naturally, I wasn't completely following the speed limit.
You weren't completely following the speed limit.
Yeah, I wasn't. I wasn't completely following the speed limit, and so a cop, ends up flashing his sirens at us, and I was like, part of me. I mean, we were literally 3 miles from the hospital we were gonna go to, and part of me was like, no, I'll just keep on going. We're almost there. It's fine. It's not gonna be a big deal. And then I was like, no, I'm not doing that. So I pulled over. Came up to the door. I told him what was going on. He looked at her. He was like, okay, yeah. And I was like, okay, we're just 3 miles from the hospital. Can we just keep on going? He's like, no.
He's like, no, we need to call EMS.
He's like, unfortunately, now that I've seen it, now that, like, I have all this information legally, we have to call EMS. So he calls the ambulance. Ambulance takes, like, 5 minutes to get there, which, again, 5 minutes in this scenario...
It was the longest 5 minutes, I think, of your life.
Yes. So the ambulance picks her up, and we're talking to EMS, and EMS is like, no, don't go to that hospital, you need to go to this hospital. It's another 10 minutes down the road, we will keep her stable in the ambulance, it'll be fine. And so we go to another hospital that's about 12 miles down the road, which in the area is like, ends up being like 15-20 minutes, so it was still quite a bit, but they were keeping her stable.
I was in good hands for sure. But yeah, no, it's Robert said, like, that's so scary. It was terrifying. The hard part too was by that point I was not really able to stay awake, so I was kind of in and out of consciousness, and when I was awake I was really confused, so I wasn't making a ton of sense. They kept trying to ask me questions. I couldn't answer their questions. I don't even really remember anything beyond the cop pulling him over. But we found out later what ended up happening was I came into the ER. I had lactic acidosis, which means like my bloodstream had just like tons of lactic acid in it.
Which is from not being able to get all the CO2 out and everything.
Well, it's in the trauma of like what the reaction was. I definitely had fluid in my lungs, high heart rate, my BP bottomed out, so my blood pressure bottomed out, and I had a really high fever. So all of those things combined meant I was in pretty bad shape, and all of that happened from the time that I just like started coughing to the time that transpired was like less than an hour. So it was really scary. What ended up happening there was they admitted me, stayed 4 days in the hospital. Because my lungs are already kind of compromised with the asthma, the fluid in my lungs turned into pneumonia. So that's what kept me in the hospital. But essentially what it was a allergic reaction to that new medication that I took on Wednesday. And instead of anaphylactic shock, which is what you would typically think of, or a rash or something like that, which is what you would typically think of for an allergic reaction, that's what it ended up being. And so...
No, really what it ended up being is I was getting too much attention from the head wound, and you just had to make sure that the attention was all back on you. Hey, Nick, thanks for the...
hey, Nick. The dinosaur. Is that a dinosaur? I think that's a dinosaur.
Looks like a dinosaur.
Looks like a dinosaur.
We're going to call that a dinosaur. Thanks for the dinosaur, Nick.
But yeah, no, it was... it was the craziest thing. And, of course, they ran the gamut of tests, which... good to know. I still have a really strong heart.
Yeah.
Everything's good
honestly,
there.
Because of the symptoms, they really wanted to make sure that everything was good with the heart. So we now know, within pretty much a shadow of a doubt, that her heart is healthy for the moment.
Rock solid. The lungs, not so much, but the heart is good. So that's really all it is. And because of all of the complications from that allergic reaction, every time I stand up, now my heart rate will jump and I get kind of lightheaded, so that's why I have to be really careful. But yeah, it was an ordeal for sure. The hospital did a great job. They took great care of me. But yeah, I was in there for 4 days, and then I've just been kind of recovering at home at our little home on wheels since then.
It's so nice. Like it was good to have like them monitoring. Like she was on the vitals the entire time, so I didn't want her to come home too early, just because I was pretty weak. Like the first 24 hours, I really couldn't sit up.
Yeah. It was pretty scary.
And so that was nice having her on the vitals, so that way we knew like what her heart was doing. And obviously we've got Apple Watches, which helps, but it's not like super specific. It's not as good as actual telemetry. So it's good to have that, and it was good just helping her out because like she really truly was not stable enough to walk on a flat surface from the bed to the bathroom, and I was like, we have stairs in the RV, small hallway, so it's not like I can get like right next to her. I kind of have to get behind her and like support her, and so I really wanted to, I was very glad that she was in, at least as long as she was, to where she was stable enough to walk on her own. Yes, Birdie, it is a very comfortable place to recover.
And he is such a sweetheart. He was like so sweet. The nurses were all like, "Oh, where's your husband? Because he's so sweet." Yeah, he won everybody over, which was really, really nice. And yeah, I'm totally lucky to have him to help take care of me and make sure that I'm all good.
I just have to, right now today, as of today, the biggest thing is I just have to remind her to go slowly, because she might stand up too quickly, or I think it was last night you were like puttering through and you like came whizzing by and I was like, slow down, baby, and you did, and you were kind of like stopped and like paused for a second. I was like, yeah, you move too quickly, you're gonna end up in pain.
Yeah. So I just have to move really slow and just have to take everything really slow. Like, I tried to get up and kind of putter around earlier this morning too, and it just like wiped me out. So I just have to like remember, I can't like just bounce right back.
She wasn't happy with how well I was keeping the RV clean, so she decided to take it upon herself.
I did. I know. Scottish Nana is like saying the same thing. She's like, go slow.
I know.
I know. I have to remember to do that. But you know, it's interesting. So I'm glad that we're recovering. We're both recovering at our home on wheels again. But you know, doing this and having these two crazy freak accidents happen all in the same week was hard enough as it was. But doing it with RV life when we're not even close to family and friends right now was definitely a challenge for sure.
Doing this life in an RV can definitely like make complications, and I think like this was like perfect evidence. I didn't know what our close. I didn't do my. I make this recommendation to everybody. Know the closest hospital. Look at reviews. Make sure that you know where you're gonna go if something is gonna happen. I didn't do that in advance. So luckily, when I hit my head, it was a little bit calmer. We had a little bit of time. We were going to an urgent care, not an ER hospital. So but we looked at the reviews and things were like we had a moment to do that. When she was sick. Unfortunately, there was no time to look up a hospital in that moment, and so I literally just typed into my map ER, clicked on the first one, and started driving. And literally, after the cops pulled me over, and the EMS was like, "Where do you want to go?" And I told them where I was planning on going. They're like, "No. They'll probably end up sending you to this hospital. You should go here." So I was like, "Okay, cool. Let's go there then." So that's why I normally do it, and this was on me. I feel bad. I'm not great about it, but that's why I say really keep know your location, know where your closest hospital is. Do the like read the reviews in advance, so that way you know if the hospital you're going to is going to be a good hospital to go to, because they're not all the same. Obviously, if it's the only one in the area. Then
it's the only one in the area.
It's the only one in the area, but it's good to at least know what you're stepping into, so that way, if it's a bad hospital, you can kind of figure it out.
The other thing that's really important, too, is know the address that you're staying at and know the closest pharmacy that you want to pick up prescriptions from, because they asked us multiple times, where are you staying? You know, because we told them what was going on. We told them what our lifestyle was. Obviously, our actual address is almost 1,000 miles away from here. And so, you know, we obviously had to give them a local address, and him knowing the address of where we're staying at was really, really crucial, as well as knowing the local pharmacy. So that way it made it just much more seamless when I got discharged for us to just go pick up the medicine and then go to the RV and not have to try to figure out all of that.
Yeah, see, that's... I don't know. I always recommend knowing your zip code where you're at, but if it's best you can. We always recommend putting like a sticky note by your door with the campground's address. The
county information.
All that stuff. I end up memorizing our address. Usually within a week of being there, just because that's kind of what Bree says, I usually have my address written on a chalkboard in our RV. That is a great idea. That is so good. I end up memorizing our address, which doesn't do her a whole lot of good if I'm ever the one who's unconscious, but, you know...
I always keep the packet that they give you when you first check in really handy.
Oh, yes.
So like I'll put it on the fridge, or I'll leave it on my desk or something like that, so I have it. But yeah, that's a great idea to use a chalkboard. House of Musher. You know, surprisingly enough, I did get some bruises from where the IV was and where the blood tests were. But surprisingly enough, I did not bruise up bad. So that was a really good thing.
But Just Roro has another recommendation, which is let your family know what your itinerary is, and that is a great thing.
Yeah.
I have 2 sisters, and both of my parents are living. Your mom and your brother, like, that's really great to just let them know what campgrounds you're going to be at, where you're going to be, how long you're going to be there. It's really, really helpful. Just if something happens, they haven't heard from me in a little while, like, they can call the campground and be like, hey, can you check on them? And it's really, really, and it was funny, actually, just recently, it came up, like, normally, like, we kind of give my parents our itinerary, and they kind of give us their itinerary.
Yeah.
And we had to change ours because of her foot earlier this year. And so we ended up crossing through, and they told me where they were and where they were going. And so I kind of had like a concept of where they might be stopping, because I knew they were doing it over 2 days. And I was like, we're stopping here. I wonder if they're going to be like, how close are... So we're literally on the road driving to our campground, and I call up my mom because I know they're having a travel day too, and I'm like, hey, where are you guys stopping tonight?
Yeah, we figured out we were only like 30 minutes apart, so on that trip we were like, do you want to have dinner together? So that was cool.
We were staying for the whole week. They were only staying there for a night, but because I knew where they were coming from and where they were going, I was like, this is a nice, good midway point, and they're coming straight down, we're crossing at an angle. I was like, I bet we're going to be in the same area.
Yeah.
Bree also...
Yeah, that's a great suggestion, Bree. So Bree also suggests using the location finder on your phone and sharing that with your family. So, like, I know Apple has the Find My... where you can share that with your family. We have that set up as well. So, like, his parents, my parents, and his sisters know how to find us. Like, they can actually see where we're at any given point, which is always a good thing. So, I think now's time for our pick of the week, which is very, very on point for the topic today.
Yeah, so our pick of the week is a pet monitoring service.
Yeah. So... just along with the other advice, a lot of people just ask us in general, like, what do you do with your dog when you're out and about? And in this case, going back and forth to the hospital every day, it gave us a lot of good peace of mind that she was okay, she was comfortable, she was cared for, while, we had to be preoccupied at the hospital. And as Ryan mentioned earlier, the hospital was a little ways away from the camper, so it wasn't like he could just get back there in a moment's notice. We use Marcel by LifeSource. It's a device that monitors both the power as well as the temperature inside the RV. And so it'll send us a text message if the power goes out, and it'll also send us a text message if the temperature range gets outside of a comfortable range that we set ourselves in the app.
Yeah, it can also do humidity as well.
Yep.
I have a kind of a light range for the humidity. I've only ever seen it like really pop out of it when we've been traveling down the road for like 6 or 7 hours in the heat. And that's when the humidity, like the temperature will have already gotten there, but then the humidity will start to catch up, and you're like, oh yeah, it's got pretty humid in there, and it's so nice to have, and it all runs off of cellular. You can get it with either an AT&T or a Verizon, but you're not setting up a plan with Verizon or AT&T. You pay them like the subscription cost is like,
it's like less than 2 coffee house coffees a month. I mean, it's very, very cheap.
Yeah, and basically it's constantly connected. It's constantly pinging. It's refreshing. It communicates. When it loses electricity, it has a built-in battery, so it sends that communication. When the electricity comes back off, it sends that communication. As it's monitoring the temperature, if it gets out of the range, it sends that communication off, and then you can have it text you. I think you can have it email you. I don't remember if you can have it call you or not, but I definitely know you can have it text or email you, and you set all the ranges yourself, so you get to decide, like, my dog is comfortable in the RV up to X number of degrees, and then I like to set it a little bit below. Yes, Marcel, Marcell.
Yeah. We've actually had it for 2 years, and we absolutely love it. We love the device. We love the service. If you want to check out Marcel for yourself, just go to our website. The information is all there. And the really cool thing is Marcel actually partnered with us to give you a $25 discount at checkout. So if you go to our website, click on the Marcel link on our website, and then type in RVBabe25 at checkout, you'll get $25 off your purchase.
Yeah, it's really great. It's not. There are some other brands out there. They're more expensive, and they do have different features than this one. What I liked was it was the right price. It was the right features for what we were looking for. It has some extensibility. You can get extra devices that help monitor for like a water leak or anything like that. So it's really a great one. And yes, go get that discount. It's on our website. Check it out. It's awesome.
Yeah. So it's beacons.ai/wanderingRVbabe. It's beacons.ai/wanderingRVbabe. And then the Marcel link is right there. And then if you type in RVBabe25 at checkout, then you'll get $25 off your purchase. Hey friends, thanks for hanging out with us today. We'd love to stay connected. We are live on TikTok every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. So definitely join us there. Like, comment, give us a follow for more, and check out our website at beacons.ai/wanderingRVbabe. That's beacons.ai/wanderingRVbabe. And we'll see you next time.
Bye guys.
Bye. I think we are ready for
we're into
some chat questions. So now is the session during the RV show, our Wandering RV show. I said that totally wrong. But now's the time during the show where it's just a free-for-all. If you have questions about us, if you have questions about RV life, we are here for you. We're here to answer any and all questions that you have, and just chat with you guys. We're happy to be back home, and hopefully this is a crazy story that we won't have again, because RV life is not generally this exciting, but sometimes it is.
Aaron asked, where are we at tonight?
We're in Florida, hanging out in Florida. That was the other nice thing too, is like, even though all this crazy stuff happened, we did not have a ton of plans. So we were still hanging out here, and didn't have any travel plans or anything like that. So we really have an opportunity to just kind of recover. But yeah, we're going to be here for a little bit, and the place that we're at has like really, really great amenities, and so we kind of don't even have to leave the campground because it's just like a really, really nice place to be.
How often do you stay in one spot?
It varies, Bree. So generally we like to try to take advantage of weekly and monthly rates when we can, because they're way, way cheaper. And so usually we try to target about a month if we can. Sometimes 3 weeks, sometimes 6 weeks, but generally we try to target about a month. And that does a couple different things for us. Besides being cheaper, it allows us to really like get to know the area. So we kind of get past all the tourist traps, and we can kind of get in and kind of get to know some of the places where the locals go. We also work during the week, and so we're limited on how much we can explore, how many, all the time that we have to go see things. So by extending our stay, we're really, really able to just kind of get to know the area.
Yeah, I think, so our first year, we did a lot of like 2-week stays here and there. And then we stayed at a couple of places for a little while, especially during the winter. And then we did more 2-week stays. And so we started off targeting 2 weeks, because there are some campgrounds that don't necessarily want you to stay a month, and so we kind of started off that way. And then this past year we tried to we were at a bunch of monthly spots for like the majority of the year, and then for like 3 solid months it was like between 1 and 2 weeks everywhere we went, sometimes just a few days, and it was crazy busy, crazy like just travel. It was a ton of fun. We got to do so many cool things.
There's a lot of travel fatigue though.
But like this coming year we want to try an experiment of like only going places if we can get a monthly rate and can stay there for a whole month.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing too, is the quicker pace you travel, the more likely you are to get burned out. And so that's the other reason why we like to just stay places a little bit longer. We
want to go places where we want to enjoy things and we want to experience things. I kind of like that, we've been here at this campground for coming up, this week will be 4 weeks.
Yeah, this week should be 4 weeks, yeah.
And I like to be places long enough that I can start to know the area. The way I kind of look at it personally, internally, is like when I can start to drive to certain places that I go on the regular, like the grocery store, the gas station, maybe our favorite eating spot, without needing the map. That's when I know we've stayed somewhere long enough and really had a chance to get to know the locals, have some fun. We love talking to other RVers who are staying places longer than us and hearing from them, like, what's cool to actually do here in this area. And so it just really helps the longer you spend, the more time you get to know the area and you get to kind of internalize it, and it becomes part of you, and you get to, like, really feel at home while you're there.
Aaron just moved from Vero Beach. Yeah, we know that area. It's really, really nice. In fact, last year we rented a boat and we took it up the coast and went all the way up to Vero Beach. You gonna get a refill?
I'm gonna get a refill.
Get a refill. So that was a lot of fun. But yeah, I know exactly where that is. Bree, yeah, 4 months in at a time. You're in Florida now. Yeah, Bree, we like to stay in Florida during the winter time, so that's probably the longest that we stay anywhere. And then we travel during the summer and the fall typically. But yeah, we figured out, man, the snowbirds, they know what they're doing. There's
a reason, like, all the old people come here during the summer. It's not just because they're old. It's because it's nice. Okeechobee, Florida. We know that area.
Okeechobee, I love it.
Awesome.
Port St. Lucie here. Joshua, we spend a lot of time in Port St. Lucie. Usually during the winter time, we're in Port St. Lucie in kind of that area.
Yeah, the Treasure Coast RV park is amazing.
Oh, it's gorgeous, yeah. 19 foot with a bump out so I can move out quickly. Nice.
You gotta have your...
Spec-homes? Spec-homes? Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. I'm gonna go with spec homes.
You can. I like the idea of having like a prepper RV, just where you basically you have like you have zombie prepping material and canned foods and everything like that.
Prepping material.
Instead of having a bunker, you have an RV just ready to go at a moment's notice, so you can take off for the woods.
There you go. Miranda spent last winter in Gulf Shores, Alabama. We were in Gulf Shores a couple weeks ago. So gorgeous. I love Gulf Shores. They just like the Gulf Coast of Florida. They've got that like white sand beach, clear blue waters, like just gorgeous area. The Hangout is a really fun place to go if you're in Gulf Shores as well.
You don't want to support the Hangout too much. I heard we got some negative feedback on the Hangout, but like we had
a great time.
It was a lot of fun. It was very entertaining.
We had a blast.
So they say it's for kids, but I'm just a big kid. That's all it is.
Yeah, we had a blast in the foam party.
For sure.
Joshua thinking of buying an RV instead of a house. I mean, we sold our house. We bought the house first and did the whole American dream kind of traditional thing first, and then we realized, man, this is like, let's sell it and get an RV instead, and we did that over 2 years ago and have never looked back.
Just sold our house about 4 months ago. Started full-time a year ago. Awesome, Miranda.
That's awesome, Miranda.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, well, she's been in the club for a little while.
Okay, that's true.
Like for a whole year.
We sold the house to help fund the RV and the truck that we needed. So the full-time was kind of predicated on us selling the house.
Yeah.
What would be beneficial for a 5-person family?
How old are your kids?
Yeah.
Because there's a couple of different options that I would say are great for families with kids. One is, going to be like a mid-bunk kind of setup where they actually have their own room. And that's really good if they're younger. I would say if they're older, 12 and 16, yeah, I'd say if they're older, try a toy hauler.
Yes.
So we've seen a lot of families where essentially what they will do is they will do one of two things. They will either turn the toy hauler into their kid's bedroom, and the bed will come down, and then it goes up in the during the day, and then they have the space to play or do schoolwork or whatever. Or they'll do just the opposite. They'll turn the master bedroom into the kids' room, rip out the bed that's in there and put in like a bunk style bed, and then the parents get the toy hauler section as their bed and have like their office area and extra living space in the toy hauler part when the bed is raised during the day. So it's just a little bit easier way to kind of spread out and get a little bit more room. So I would definitely suggest at least looking at both of those options. There's also a couple of brands that are coming out with like full 2-bedroom RVs. So they've got the bedroom at the front with the ensuite bathroom. They've got the kitchen and the living room area in the middle, and then at the rear they've got a whole nother bedroom and bathroom. So that could be another option.
Yeah, Bree says we have a toy hauler. The 2 kids sleep in the garage area. It's a great direction. Like we met this couple. I think it was in Chicago, and they actually slept in the toy hauler section and converted the master bedroom into like a playroom with a bunk bed.
Yeah, because they have 3 kids, and their kids are a little bit younger, and so the 2 boys had the bunk, and then the girl had her own separate bed. But it was all still in the same like room, but it tucked away so that they also had like a play area in there as well. So it was really cool. Year-round part-timer, yeah, because you still own a construction company, yeah. So yes, which makes sense that your username is Spec Homes. His parents have RV'd for years and years and years, and they kind of do that too. They're part-time full-timers, because Thanks Val for the rose. But yeah, they're part-time full-timers because they are teachers. So during the the teaching year, they're home, but then during the summer, they're gone all summer in their RV. So actually, fun fact, a fifth wheel is an RV. So RV is kind of more just an umbrella term for any kind of recreational vehicle. But yes, we do have a fifth wheel instead of like a travel trailer or a motorhome or something like that. And we love our fifth wheel. It was amazing. We weren't sure when we first were looking, and we looked at a couple of different options, and we just fell in love with the fifth wheels.
Oh, nice. I'm just looking up this Portofino Island. Is that what this is? That's a resort.
Oh, nice, Terry. That looks really nice.
What? This looks like a hotel. I don't know if that's what you're talking about or not.
Is it a hotel or is it an RV park?
Yeah, that looks like a hotel. I don't know. Maybe there's an RV park attached. That's really that looks pretty dang cool, Terry.
That looks awesome. It's a hotel. Okay, yeah, that looks really really awesome.
Fifth wheel or motorhome? It depends. Yeah, we have there's an old adage of motorhome is about enjoying the journey, and fifth wheel is about enjoying the destination. And I think that's true to a certain extent. What they kind of are getting at is like when you're driving down the road in a motorhome, like you still have full access and are able to like go to the bathroom. Your kids can be like on the couch watching TV or playing games on their iPads or whatever.
Or doing homeschool.
Or doing homeschooling while you're on the road. And so that's kind of where that comes from. Fifth wheels to us, the reason we like fifth wheels is they have more space than a pull behind, and they have more floor plans than a motorhome. And so for that reason, we prefer the fifth wheel setup because we can have whatever floor plan we want, within whatever they're building at the time. But like this floor plan that we have, front bedroom, bathroom, this nice big living room with a couch over on the side and another couch over on the other side that we pulled out for more storage, a big kitchen and a dining area that we ripped that out and put a desk in. Like that doesn't technically exist in a motorhome very often, at least not that we found. And so we wanted something that fit our needs, and the fifth wheels just seem to have more floor plan options.
Yeah, the fifth wheels are also really, really easy to hitch up and unhitch, and they're also really easy to tow. So, it just fit the bill for us, but I will say, though, if you want to spend a lot of time on the road, a motorhome is great because you have this, like, nice, really super comfortable cockpit to drive in. with a motorhome, whereas with, travel trailer or fifth wheel, you're driving in a 1-ton truck generally, or a 3/4-ton truck at the very least. And so, it's not as comfortable to spend a long time on the road, which is where you get the journey versus destination kind of mentality. So, that's why we picked a fifth wheel, but we have lots and lots of friends who have motorhomes. They love their motorhomes, and it works for them.
Yeah, Les brings up a good point. Like, if you're... Lessa brings up a good point. If
Lisa.
You're, cool.
I bet it's Lisa.
Lisa brings up a great point of, like, if you don't want to deal with stairs as much, obviously a bumper pool is a lot nicer. They are much lower down to the ground, so you have very few steps even just to get in, and then you don't have the steps to get up to, like, the other sections of the RV. I would agree totally. Like, if steps are an issue, definitely something to avoid. Like, her right now in her state, not having fewer steps would be amazing at this moment. We're younger, so we're generally fairly healthy other than this circumstance.
This last, this year.
And so stairs are not as big of an issue for us. We've talked about, like, as we got older, like, looking at, like, a Class C or Class A motorhome would definitely be, like, maybe our next direction if we needed to, like, if we started having extenuating health issues.
Yeah.
Are you guys thinking about homesteading later on? No, we're thinking about staying on the road as long as our bodies allow. And like I said, if our bodies start to make it a little bit harder on us, we'll probably just move to, like, a Class C or a Class A. And honestly, that should get us through until if we ever settle down, we'll probably just settle down at an RV park, and that'll be it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that Two Socks has a schoolie. I always, like, want to live vicariously through people who have schoolies, and every time we see them driving down the road, like, I'm mesmerized by just the renovation that went into making a schoolie what it is.
Yeah, I think everyone who owns a schoolie there needs to be a mandatory requirement that you must give tours when you get to the campsite. So if I see a schoolie, I'm going to come knock on your door, and I'm going to expect you to give me a tour.
It's a lot of work. Yeah, I'm sure it is.
We talked about, like, we would have so much fun. We would totally do it, maybe, when she's not working anymore. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, but we also kind of like what we're doing, and we kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Totally. Vanessa. Yeah, we actually camp with travel nurses quite a bit. Like, it's definitely a thing where, most of our RV neighbors, when they come through, if they're full-timers as well, they're either travel nursing, or they're in the military, or they're doing jobs that are like, either, on site somewhere that's transient and kind of moves around a little bit, or they're remote. So yeah, we love getting to know the travel nurses too, and hearing all of y'all's stories, because you'll have some really interesting stories to tell.
Specom says, I saw a motorhome towing an RV, like a tow behind, behind the motorhome. Like, that sounds amazing.
That's interesting. How big was that then?
I mean,
because that could be kind of dangerous if they're both, like, huge. But
I mean, if you got, like, a 35 foot Class C and then, like, a 25 foot pull behind, like, that would be about the same length as us. So
yeah, you could do it. Yeah,
you could absolutely do it.
That's an interesting concept for sure. Cortez, Colorado. Yeah, we were in Colorado earlier this year, and it's gorgeous up in Colorado. Is it cold there yet, or is it still, like, pretty mild temperatures?
Apparently, it's cold all over the U.S. right now. Terry, I'm drinking a poured, not shaken or stirred, dirty vodka martini.
Basically, it's a lazy martini.
It's a lazy martini. It's basically ice, olives, a little bit of olive juice with vodka poured over it.
Chilly at night in the 40s. Okay, so not too bad. Colorado's not too bad yet.
Is it still hot in Texas? I thought it was supposed to be cool in Texas this week. Okay, it's cool where we're at. We had a high today of 78, I think.
I think it was cooler than that. I think it was like 75. It was beautiful all day long.
It's gonna warm back. It's gonna warm back up again tomorrow. But like today, we're in Florida, and it was like mid 70s all day today. It was beautiful.
Yeah. Texas is hot. Arizona, yeah. Bree, Arizona is like super hot right now.
Ugh. Texas is still 96. Ugh. See that?
Yeah, 96 degrees in Texas.
So that was my thing. So when we were planning all of this to get her foot taken care of, we were like, okay, do we go back to Texas, go be near family, or do we go somewhere else? And I was like, well, first of all, we're going to probably need to be there for a few months. And so it'd be nice to already be in Florida, so when it starts to cool off in the rest of the country, we'll stay a little bit warmer. But if we go to where we're at, Pensacola, you get a little bit of that Gulf breeze, and so it's not as hot.
It's not, yeah, no.
As it is in Texas.
Florida still is nowhere near as hot as Texas.
Yeah. I mean, as somebody was saying the other day, Tampa apparently never gets above 100 degrees.
Yeah.
That's, like, insane. I'm like, Texas, DFW area gets above 100 degrees all the time.
All the time, yeah. Oh, Scottish Nana. Oh, you're going to have to build Noah's Ark. It's raining in New Jersey for days.
If you just build Noah's Ark and then just come down the coast and
come to Florida
and go around the south end, come back up the Gulf Coast, and then stop, we can meet you in Pensacola Beach.
There you go. Yeah, Lisa, we're from Fort Worth. So yeah, and most of our family lives in the Fort Worth area still. So we're very, very familiar with DFW.
Bradley, yes, this is a fifth wheel. It is a 41-foot fifth wheel. Scottish Nan's like, that's a plan.
That's a plan.
It's probably not plan A.
Yeah, she didn't say that was the plan. She said it was a plan.
I noticed she wasn't committing to this one. Slow.
I'm slow. I remembered this time. I'm slow.
So for all of you just joining us, she has pneumonia. She just got it last week, and so she is her body's struggling to do simple things like standing up and walking around the camper. So yeah. So how long do you have in the RV communities until they force you out? Honestly, if you can find anywhere that lets you stay a month, they'll usually let you stay several months. There's are a few that will have like a max 3 months. They'll have like a max 6 months. But a lot of times, most campgrounds, if they have a monthly rate, you can probably be there for like a full time and never leave. There are absolutely places that limit it. So like the place that we're at, they have a monthly rate. We could stay here year round if we wanted to. The place that we go down to in Port St. Lucie, we could stay there year round if we wanted to. It all depends on availability, but there are definitely campgrounds. There's a campground that I stay at in DFW when we go through to see family. They have a monthly rate, and once you get on the monthly rate, you can stay as long as you want. But if you're not on a monthly rate, they won't let you stay past 28 days, and so you have to get on the waiting list to get the monthly rate, and so the max you can stay is 28 days. Yeah, so there's a lot. We look for year-round. Miranda, we look for year-round spots with monthly rate all the time. Speckums, yes, there's a lot in Florida that you can stay year-round.
Oh, yeah.
There are a few that do shut down during the summer. They're more like they're usually like the 55+ communities sometimes, and they'll go ahead and shut down for the summer months because they just don't have enough people there to staff it. So there are some that will like literally shut down, and there's some up in the north.
There's a lot up in the north that'll shut down during the winter.
Yeah. My daughter has pneumonis. I don't know what pneumonis is.
I'm guessing that's pneumonia. Well, if that's true, then I hope she gets feeling better soon. I know, like, from experience right now, having it sucks.
Terry's got football on the big screen and TikTok and us on TikTok for him. Terry,
we're Terry, who's playing and who's winning right now?
Yeah, I say we're gonna be we'll be watching the Cowboys game on Sunday for sure.
Yeah, we're from Texas. We gotta root for the Cowboys. They're our team. I mean, although they really did let us down this last week, but hopefully they'll redeem themselves.
Beach Girl says a lot of the RV parks in Connecticut will close down for the winter. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Connecticut, Maine, like that whole area. We actually have some friends who own a campground up in, oh gosh, where is it? I think it's up in Canada, but it's over on that side. And during the winter they shut it down and then they come here to Florida. So we snowbird with them as well.
Lions are up, and the Dolphins are kicking the Broncos.
Didn't they just play this past weekend, though?
Oh, yeah, that's good. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Do we have cable? No, we do not have cable.
No.
We learned how to watch television from the
we have streaming services.
The Pirates of the Great Sea. Pneumonia scares your lungs for life. Please take care of yourself. So this will be, what, your third or fourth time having pneumonia in your entire life?
Third time.
Third time.
Yeah, third time. So yeah, I already have asthma, so that's why I'm predisposed to it. But yeah, no, I'm definitely really, really trying to take care of myself and not push it too much, too fast.
You've had it
8 times? Oh. Big N. Oh my goodness. That's awful.
How old are you? If you don't mind me asking, that's crazy.
I know that they have a vaccine for it, but I don't know how effective that is.
Yeah.
Drink mullein leaf tea. It'll really help. Oh, okay.
No, look into
I've never heard of that kind of tea, Nana, but I will definitely look into it now.
Yeah, for sure. I think
tense right now, but really want to know. I mean, Joshua, like, going from a tent to an RV is a game changer. So I can totally see you definitely wanting an RV if you're just intense.
So Martin, she has...
Yeah, I got off the boot and now I have pneumonia. Like, yeah.
The foot's still healing. We're just
It is, but I don't have to wear a boot anymore. I'm kind of weaning out of it, which is great.
It's not 100%, like, she's not fully mobile. We go back to the doctor for the foot again tomorrow, and so hopefully we'll continue the...
Have a good update there.
So I'm going to answer you, Jimbo.
Get it on Amazon. Okay.
I'm going to answer you the best I can, Jimbo. So we still owe on both of our truck and the RV, so if you're taking that into account, then you'll have to, like, figure this in for yourself and how much you're paying on your truck and how much you're paying on your trailer or whatever your setup is. So I budget up to, preferably less, but up to $1,200 a month for our site fees. Usually we pay less than that. That is kind of the upper end of where we want it to be. I'll budget up to $800 a month for fuel when we're traveling a bunch. But generally we never use that much. That's like I don't think we've ever even come close to $800 in a single month for fuel. But that's like worst case scenario. If we were like traveling every single weekend for multiple days in a row, we might get close to $800 a month. So that's kind of... So I budget about $800 for fuel when traveling. When you're stationary, you'd use less. I budget about $600 a month for, like, activities. Again, we usually spend less, but that gives us a little bit of wiggle room. And then, obviously, cost of groceries are going up, and so I think I budget about $1,000 a month for groceries. Usually, again, we use less. So if you take all that into account, you're looking about $3,600, maybe $4,000, not counting what you might be paying on your truck or RV. Again, these numbers can also be done for a lot less. We're like every single one of those, especially the fuel, you can definitely use a lot less. RV sites, you can go to national parks and other places like that and spend a lot less. Obviously, like, going out expenses, you don't have to go out at all if you don't want to. And groceries, again, you can spend less on groceries. So I think we budget close to $4,000 for, kind of our month-over-month spending.
Yeah.
But you could definitely do it for a lot less than that.
Oh, yeah. We know people who do it for a lot less than that, too. So it's just like, living in a house. Like, every family has their own budget.
Yeah.
Oh, Mark says you're beautiful. I'm gonna assume that he's talking about me, and that's a great compliment because I don't feel super hot right now, so I don't feel super beautiful and sexy. But thank you for telling me.
You're
anyway.
Still very, very pretty.
Thank you, sir. Oh, Nana Goat also says mullein tea. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing that correctly.
I'm a word.
But no, I like. We need to look into it because Nana told us to do it, so we need.
You gotta follow what Nana tells us to do.
Lions are kicking the Packers' ass. Yeah, Packers are having a rough. They're having a rough season so far. Having a lot more freedom instead of a job. Yeah, Joshua. So we still work. We just work remotely, and thankfully we're able to do this life and still be able to work at the same time. just because of the jobs that we have and the line of work that we're in. So it's really, really nice.
So we will check out this Mullen tea. I mean, I might drink it if it's that good.
Yeah.
Cheesecake says Cincinnati is waving at us. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Waving. Hi, Cincinnati.
Hi, Cincinnati.
C-Town. What's up, C-Town? Get Buddha brand. Okay, cool.
Buddha brand. Okay.
Let me find the Buddha brand. Buddha.
Yeah, just type it in.
Buddha Mullen tea.
Buddha Mullen tea. Right there.
Yep. Okay, I've got it.
Do it.
Ooh, they have elderberry tea, too.
Ooh, nice.
I like elderberry.
Hello. Nums. Hey, Nums.
Hello, gorgeous and hat guy. That's awesome.
It's Babe and Beard. Noms, he's wearing his hat now for a whole new reason. And it's because he hit his head on the kingpin hitch last week and had to have 10 staples in his head. So now he's wearing his hat so he doesn't gross everybody out.
Yeah, I'm trying not to go against TikTok's guidelines for blood and gore.
Yeah. So we posted the video today. If you haven't checked it out, you should definitely check it out. It's pretty funny. We posted the video today, like when it actually happened, because we happened to catch it on video. And then obviously the aftermath of like going to the ER to go get it stitched up. And we had to be really careful about like making sure that we were, sharing what happened, but not like making it to where people were just like, this is gross, we can't do this.
Yeah, it's like...
Oh, you look gorgeous too.
Thank you, Noms. I appreciate it. That makes me feel good. Not everybody appreciates the luxurious beard as much as some people, so I do sometimes I do need my spirits lifted every once in a while.
I mean, his beard is looking pretty epic. It's getting a little bushy on the sides. We probably need to trim the sides a little bit soon, but other than that, like you got some good epic beard going on there, sir.
It's been good for me. Any other new...
What's funny is, so he started growing the beard in 2019, I believe.
Was it 2019 or was it?
It was before COVID.
It was before COVID, so yeah,
so he started, before he had some facial hair, but for the most part he just kind of had this like 5 o'clock shadow kind of look all the time. And I really didn't want him to grow a beard initially, but I think it was for like No Shave November.
I think you actually were like, hey, if you wanted to grow a beard this month, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, I think it was like for No Shave November or something like that, because you had mentioned it a couple different times. And so finally, he grows the beard, and in December he was like, okay, well, I can probably go ahead and just cut it off now. And I was like, no. And I really loved it. I fell in love with the beard, and so he just hasn't cut it off since. Now he trims it and shapes it and everything, but yeah, he's had the beard ever since. And I had a dream one time that he cut the beard off without telling me, and I was so mad, and it was so vivid and felt so real that like I woke up in the middle of the night and I like turned over to make sure, like look at him and see that he still had the beard. I was very upset with you in my dream.
I've been told now that the beard, that shaving the beard could be grounds for divorce.
It could be grounds for divorce. He cannot shave the beard without discussing it with me first. I don't think he would ever want to.
No, I would not. No, I really wouldn't want to. Like at this point, like it's just part of who I am. I probably... I mean, if I didn't have to worry about you, I may not do as good of a job at maintaining it.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the wife effect. Though.
That is the wife effect, exactly. Oh, your husband... so I had a special soap that I had for my beard, and it was great, and I loved it. And then it ran dry. We were already on the road, and so, like, getting it again was, like, it was going to be a complicated process because I'd have to, like, ship it to wherever I was at, and it was, like, it was kind of... And then I, like, started looking into it, and I was like, you know what? Dove works, like, not shampoo. Dove bar soap works actually really, really well with a beard. And I was like, Okay.
At least with your beard, yeah.
At least with my beard, yeah. It like I will. So what I'll do is I'll typically not every day, but I'll typically wash the beard about every other day with Dove bar soap, and then you have some soap that you use that's like a real deep clean, and I'll do that, once a week, once every 2 weeks, and kind of do like a super deep clean, and I'll lotion after that. But usually after I do the Dove, I'll do like some beard oils and stuff like that, and just to help kind of keep it healthy. But honestly, I don't like to wash the beard every single day. It just because the hair, like it's healthier. Honestly, anybody who's got long hair knows that it's generally healthier not to wash your hair every single day. Shorter hair, you can kind of get away with it, but the beard's like,
yeah, it's pretty good.
It's pretty like this is pretty like it's pretty long at this point.
Yeah. Oh, we got Denver, we got North Dakota, we got Tennessee, Pennsylvania in the house. Bar soap, yep.
Do I ever find leftovers in it? Sadly,
yes, all the time. All the but you do use like some beard oil and beard balm as well, which keeps it really healthy, which is nice. We got Virginia and Kansas in the house too, like Maryland. You guys are from all over tonight. Hey Jay, we're from Texas originally, but we full-time RV and full-time travel RV all the time. So, hey Green Eyes, yep, Texas representing. So right now we're in Florida, but we've been all over the country, and we very rarely actually go back to Texas now. Green Eyes, Destin is gorgeous. We're in the Pensacola area right now, which is, similar area, kind of that Destin, 30A, Pensacola area, and it's beautiful over here.
Nana Peanut says she's from Louisiana, and she went to Pensacola, and it is beautiful. Yeah. Pensacola, I don't know why, but it speaks to me as a city. It speaks
to you.
I don't know why. Like, I love everything about it. It's still small, but it's in this nice little area where you have easy access to the beach. There's a beautiful dog beach down there.
Oh yeah, it's free.
It's free.
Lovely, and then it's got
amazing restaurants. We got our sushi restaurant over on Navarre Beach. We've got a Cajun restaurant like right off of the road on Pensacola Beach that we love.
Yeah.
There's a good whiskey bar in downtown.
The whiskey bar is great. They have an amazing farmers market too in Pensacola, just like right there downtown, and then they'll do like different festivals and things like that right in the downtown area, which is really, really gorgeous. It's just an amazing like little Gulf town.
Yes, Sarah. The Slippery Mermaid. That's the sushi restaurant.
Yeah, Slippery Mermaid is amazing. If you're in Navarre Beach, you got to go to the Slippery Mermaid. If you like sushi, you got to go to the Slippery Mermaid. It's really good. Every time we come through here, we'll go there.
Which one, JB? I think she's got a broadcaster's voice, but actually
I've heard that before.
I've actually done some broadcaster voice stuff before, and it's turned out great. But that's also after a lot of post work. So you're hearing me live, so I maybe don't have it now.
Yeah. It's funny. I have been told that a few different times that like I should have been a game show host, and I like missed my calling to be a game show host.
What's funny is her voice is actually kind of weak right now because of the pneumonia, and so it's legit like kind of like I hear it still, but it's not like as strong as it normally is. So that's funny that you still picked up on it.
Yeah. Normally it's a little bit more amped up. It's a little bit more high energy. I'm a little bit more high energy. I just don't have the energy today, but yeah, no, that's pretty funny that you picked up on that.
It's pretty funny.
We can both host a game show.
Hey, it's
there we go.
I'll hit all the nice deep low tones for you. Tennessee, yes, we
do stop in Tennessee.
We stopped in Nashville a few years ago.
Oh yeah, we had a blast in Nashville. We spent a week like vacation in Nashville, and had a blast. We loved it. So unless there's something in chat that you feel like we need to like respond to right away, I think it'd be good to.
No, I think we need to let the Wandering RV Babe have a good night's rest. Good night. Goodbye. Thanks for being with us.
Night, guys.